Will Social Security, Retirement, Disability, SSDI, Survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low-income, and no-income individuals be eligible to receive the fourth stimulus check if it is passed? This is a very popular question that I get numerous times right here on the channel, and I want to answer it for you in this dedicated video. So with that being said, let's get right into it and discuss all of the details. But quickly before we do, welcome and thank you for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I am back every day to keep you updated and as your daily advocate doing anything we possibly can to reach out to Congress and remind them that additional stimulus is needed and permanent raises to benefits that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Subscribe right down below the video if you like the sound of that, and feel free to share this video with your friends, family, social media. Thanks again. You're amazing. I truly appreciate all of you right here in this community. Let's talk through this a little bit further. So as I mentioned, this is a very, very popular question. I get this question literally multiple times every single day across the channel. I get it. It's a very concerning time right now, especially with everything going on. I get it. There's a lot of people who are concerned. Are we going to be left out on this next massive stimulus package? So I want to address that a little bit further in this video. So right now, over the last few days and over the last few weeks here, we've been getting a lot of new information and proposals and provisions on this massive $3.5 trillion stimulus package. However, people continue to reach out saying, I'm concerned. Are we going to be left out on this next package? So don't worry, I will walk you through all of this in the video. And like I always say, as I do all the research every day, I'm back every day to keep you updated with all this information going on. And I tell you what you need to do and or like all the provisions in order to be eligible to receive all of these different stimulus proposals and provisions and stimulus programs and all this stuff going on out there. So don't worry, I'm working on your behalf. I'm working on your team, and I just want to help you out in any way I can. So just remember that I've got your back. I'm just doing anything I can here for you. All right, so now that we've been getting a lot of these different stimulus proposals, provisions, everything with this reconciliation bill, it is moving forward very slowly, but it is moving forward. Nonetheless, it is still moving forward. But here's the thing. When it comes to stimulus checks, whether it's all the stimulus checks we've already received or any stimulus programs or stimulus checks going forward, it's all predicated on a few factors. It comes down to income. Is your income within the parameters? Number 2, do you have a Social Security number? Number 3, do you owe back child support? And number 4, were you claimed as an adult dependent? Now, these are the 4 major factors that have provided the last few stimulus checks and will likely provide any further stimulus checks to anybody who is eligible. So let's walk through these really quickly, and then we will deduct from all of this who would actually be eligible for these next stimulus checks, provided they are actually passed, right? All right, so let's quickly run through these. First off, when we look back on stimulus check number 1, 2, and number 3, it was all coming down to income, right? There were different income ranges, but basically $75,000 as an individual for stimulus check number 3. Well, as I've mentioned in other videos, if you're receiving any of the benefits that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB, or maybe you're low income or no income, if your income is under the parameters, it checks the box. So there you go. You're in the door when it comes to checking the box on income. Got it. All right, next we need to look at, do you have a Social Security number? This is also something that's been very important going forward when it comes to receiving stimulus checks. In most instances, the last 3 stimulus checks, they have required people to have a Social Security number in order to get the stimulus checks. So if you have a social, you would probably get it, okay? Checks the box and you're good, right? However, stimulus check number 3, EIN individuals could have been eligible to get the stimulus check. So there was a provision there that allowed EIN people to get the stimulus check as well, right? So that checks the box as well. Got it. Next, my next question would be, do you owe back child support? If the answer is no, then there you go, check the box. If the answer is yes, then the answer would be a little bit up in the air. Reason being, stimulus check number 1, you forfeited your stimulus check because of back child support. However, stimulus check number 3, you got the stimulus check even if you owed back child support. So that's why I'm saying it's up in the air right now, because we don't know that information quite yet. However, that could be a wild card going forward as far as back child support. So remember that one. We'll kind of keep that one as maybe like a partial check mark for some people, a total check mark for some people, but for the most part, we got to keep an eye on that one. Next being, adult dependents. Now remember, if you were claimed as an adult dependent, for the most part, you probably, unfortunately, did not get any of the previous stimulus checks because the stimulus check would have gone to the person who claimed you. Remember that? So that is one of these provisions that's kind of unfortunate. Could it change? Yeah, absolutely, it could change. Will it change? We don't know. Honestly, I'm just being totally honest with you. We don't know. So that's another one that's a little bit up in the air. However, if you are not claimed as an adult dependent, there's nothing to worry about. You can just check that box. So there you go. Now it all comes back full circle to answer the question. And I apologize that this was a little bit, I said a little bit longer, but I wanted to explain it to kind of explain the logic behind the stimulus checks and how I'm coming up with either, answers yes or no or whatever. So here's the thing. Are Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income and no income individuals eligible to receive future stimulus checks, as in a fourth stimulus check, if it is actually passed? Now here's the thing. My answer would be, yeah, absolutely. The reason I say that is because you were eligible for stimulus check number 1, 2, and number 3, provided everything that we just went through in the last little checklist there is actually marked off. The only thing that could have possibly held you back is if you were claimed as an adult dependent or if you owed back child support. But again, if you owe back child support, technically, stimulus check number 3, you should have received that one. So that wouldn't really matter. But as far as the adult dependent, that is the one that unfortunately has held up the stimulus checks for millions of people on the last couple or the last stimulus check number 3, simply because that payment went to the person who claimed you versus actually you. But again, that could change going forward, right? But either way, when it comes down to income, which is ultimately the most important factor when it comes down to determining who is actually eligible for stimulus checks, you've got that one marked, especially if you're receiving those benefits I continue to mention throughout the video. By default, if you're receiving those benefits, your income is most likely under the limit, with a rare occasion of maybe somebody receiving retirement benefits who is you're receiving your full retirement benefits, you're above the retirement age, and maybe you're working and receiving and you're still earning some income. At that point, technically, your income could be above the level, but that's kind of a rare situation. That doesn't happen all that often. So for the most part, you're basically in. Got what I'm saying? So yeah, right? I want to explain it a little bit further in this video to kind of explain to you how I'm coming up with all this information and where we're going from here. Now again, I've got to lay this out. I've alluded to this a few times in the video. But as of now, of course, we're still waiting for the official announcement and the official adding into the package of a fourth stimulus check. Again, a lot of these provisions and proposals have been trickling out over the last few days and weeks. But trust me, there are going to be many, many more to come over the coming days and weeks. That's why I continue to say, you've got to make sure that you're subscribed so that I can keep you updated with all of this stuff coming out. All it takes is one person, literally, all it takes is one person to come out, pound on the table and say, we need to have this in the package. And then there you go. We've got it, right? Essentially is what it comes down to. So anyway, I hope this helps you out. For those of you who have been asking, remember, I just want to do whatever I can to explain this in such a way that makes sense, as well as be back every day to keep you updated with everything going on, and just continue to do the research and bring it back to you every single day as your daily advocate, your daily voice, and, just to be here as a friendly presence to remind you, I know what it's like to be alone. It's not fun. I get it. To be that person that you feel like you don't know who you can turn to get accurate, reliable, and transparent information. Well, I want to be that person. I've spent many years of my life being that person where I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to ask. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know how to do the research. I've been there for a long time in my life. However, I want to be that person for anybody in this community. So thank you so much for believing in me. I truly appreciate it. I hope this video helps you out. Leave any questions down below if you have them. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks everyone. You're amazing. I'll see you in the next video.